A very warm welcome to Fox Sports coverage of the 2019 AFC Champions League. We've got a Group H clash here between Ulsan Hyundai and Shanghai SIPG. Two big sides in terms of Asian football, but two sides who perhaps didn't perform as well as they would have liked to on match day 1. This is match day 2 of 6 in the group stage. Ulsan held to a goalless draw up at Sydney. Away draws are all well and good, but they weren't particularly impressive. Shanghai SIPG getting a 1-0 victory in their match against Kawasaki, but they were largely outplayed, indebted to a crazy last-minute penalty dispatched by Hull to pick up the maximum points. So they've got 3 points, but they didn't play particularly well. Stanley Bernard Samuel, a former Malaysia international, is alongside me in the commentary box to analyse what to make of this particular match and this particular group as well, Stan, as Hull gets on the gloves and the warm coat. Both sides have picked up points in that first game, but without really impressing. Kim Chang-soo, number 27, and Kim Swan come in. Mix Diskarud is an interesting player to have. In the only time we've seen him was in the match against Perak, where he literally had 2 involvements in the game. Both ended up in the back of the net, brilliantly so.
Yeah, he's got a little magic in him, as we saw. Technically very sound. Sometimes he do disappear in games. He does come to life in phases, but it's what ahead of him. It's a different combination. Junior Negrao not being in the lineup. Kim Soo-won will be perhaps just roaming around Mixed Diskarut. It's going to offer a different kind of problem to the SIPG side.
SIPG have got the power of Elkas and Oscar and Hulk up front. Defensively, Chang Hui and look out for Lin Chuang Yi in the heart of midfield. Defensively, they can play a 3 at the back or go a 4. That'll be one of the interesting things for you to be looking out for in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think SIPG's put out their best lineup, as you expect from the Chinese side, always putting their priorities in the Asian Champions League, trying to go as far as they can. It's the strongest, perhaps, I've seen SIPG. I think they've taken a step forward in the sense they've gone about winning a game, last game, without playing well. I like teams who can do that, because it does show a bit of quality, as you just rightly mentioned. Johor Darussalam playing very well last night, but at the end of it, picking 1 point might come to haunt them again. On the other hand, SIPG, they're looking at this away game and they're saying, can we get a point or 3 points? On the other hand, Ulsan not giving away too much so far this season, very tight tactically.
Early huddles are now obligatory in all games of football, so it seems, might have been written into the rule book. But Elkerson, who's been a terrific import in China, both for Guangzhou Evergrande and now here at Shanghai SIPG, leads the line. Wonderful work ethic, wonderful work rate, and Hulk dispatched the winning penalty last week. As for Shanghai's form guide, well, they beat Jiangsu 3-2 at the weekend, where they struggled defensively without Shika. After beating Kawasaki 1-0 when they were very much second best, but prior to that, a 4-0 victory over Shanghai Shenhua and a 2-0 victory over Beijing in the Chinese Super Cup. It means that they have played for 1-4 this season. However stodgy the form was in the last 2 games, it is a played for 1-4. Countdown is on. Ahmad Yaqub is the match referee, and he gets us underway. Shanghai in the red, Ulsan in the blue. Chilly conditions, but pitch looking in perfect condition. And one of the things I like about this Ulsan ground, the nets. They have deep nets, so when the ball hits the back of the net, it nestles beautifully. Just one of the aesthetics. Udil Akhmedov. Swan beats the ball by Diskarud. Udil Akhmedov, the Uzbek, all the way back to Yan Junling, who was outstanding against Kawasaki. Kim In-sung down the left-hand side will have his heels on the touchline. He's a genuine wide player. Chen has an important role at centre-back. Chua launches long, finds Akhmedov. Baltus won the first ball. Miskurud helped out by big central defender Yun Young-sun. Left back Myung-jae runs it long. Hulk's touch beaten to it by In-sung. Help forward. Kim Swan is looking for the loose ball. Young-jae. Well, back by Kim Bo-kyung. Young-jae once again. Baltus, who likes to get the ball to feet, as you'd expect. Chang-soo down the right-hand side. He's coming at right back, and Tae-hwan will move a little bit further forward. There is Chang-soo. Decent ball in, dealt with by Akhmedov. Hulk runs into traffic. Finding difficulty getting out of their own half just at the moment. Helped forward by Chang-soo. Min-sung. 13 in the centre of the defence is Wei Jun. Wang Sen-chua. Akhmedov playing a central role alongside Chang-hui. Hoisted forward. You've had a few minutes just to try to analyse the setup of Shanghai, which was causing us a little bit of angst beforehand, and your conclusion starting with on Samuel?
I'm not surprised they've started with a back three, clearly, because in the last game as well, when they brought on Fu Huan, he did provide a lot of width down the right-hand side, but tonight you'll be seeing one Sen Chao just playing down the right-hand side, Liu Wen-jun down the left-hand side. So when they defend is where the demands of these wing-backs is required, making it a 5, and when they go forward, try and make it a 5 midfield.
Diskarud. Kim Chang-soo brought in because he gets forward brilliantly, but to be fair, so does Tae-hwan, who was ahead of him. Young-sun and Baltus are the two centre-backs. Already formed an impressive partnership. A lot of changes in the Ulsan side. And you have back-to-back goalless draws, and just the one conceded, well, 2 conceded in 4 games for Ulsan Hyundai. Baltus. Young-jae. Kim Bo-kyung, who I know you like very much. Good signing for them.
Yeah, from Kashiwa Reysol. They did well last season in the J-League to finish 3rd. I just think they needed a bit more help midfield-wise, and that's what they've done with bringing in Kim Bo-kyung. And he started every game. He's been consistent. I like the fact that you mentioned they've been solid at home. They started the season with a really big victory for me against Suwon Blue Wings. But since then, they've not scored goals, but they've not given away much.
Oscar beaten by Chang-soo. Didn't like the attention on him there. Oscar likes a little bit more time on the ball. Won't get that against this Ulsan side. They will snap at your heels. Respective coaches, Kim Do-hoon has been in charge a few years now, and he's clearly building a side as Oscar is brought down from behind. Janggi, Akhmedov. Janggi. Hoisted forward by Oscar. Picked out Hulk. And Akhmedov was rolling forward. Interesting that Oscar is starting very deep. Sung-kyun, tall goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think if you go back to that last match against Kawasaki, you will find Alkerson at times isolated. Hulk was trying to get closer to Oscar, who put in a shift off the ball really well. Again, did not have a lot of time and space against Kawasaki. I think he'll try and work himself a bit deeper today, Oscar, to try and provide and get more on the ball, to try and provide a bit more service to Hulk, and Alkerson ahead of him.
Lu Wenjun, I think ostensibly as a left wing back, he's better known as a winger. Zhang Yi, Oscar, beaten to it by the hard-working Kim In-sung. Akhmedov wins it back, helped by Oscar. Wenjun, Oscar, where he likes to be on the edge of the penalty area. Elkerson in support. Oscar, Wenjun, again Oscar on the receiving end of some tough love. Wenjun into the penalty area, taken off him expertly by Young Song. Swan introduced for the first time. Big, strong striker at the expense of that man. And Junior Negrão, we expected him to be on the starting line. Didn't look too happy with his position on the bench there. Looked well wrapped up and warm.
Well, especially home games. If you're a foreign player, you want to start games at home in front of your home fans. You want to try and put in the best performances. If you ask anyone who's traveled, who's played abroad as a foreign player, I think it's crucial that you tick those home games and you want to start those home games. So him being on the bench, he won't be happy about it. I think it might work into favor if you call him on the second half and the quality he has.
Bokyung steps out. Kim In-sung clipped from behind. A little wrap on the ankles, they can be naughty. And Lin Chong-hee, I think, knew exactly what he was doing, and Ahmed Yaqub is going to have a little word with him. Yeah, stands on the heel, which is very painful. Kim Swan the target. Mixerud. In-sung. Hacked clear. Not convincingly by Fu Huan, but gets it clear. Wang onto Hulk. Elkerson inside. Lovely play by the Brazilian. To Oscar. To the Uzbek Akhmedov. Oscar. Wenjun belatedly joins in the attack. The pace has gone out of him. Akhmedov. Oscar again on the receiving end of some harsh treatment. Referee said play on. You've got the ball. Zhang Yi. Well, they had a bit of momentum going forward, and it's just come to an absolute standstill there.
I'll give credit to Ulsan. I thought how they defended that was really well. As soon as that ball went out wide, or they were just playing that ball wide towards Lu Wenjun, they made sure their eyes were on Oscar. They made sure their eyes were on Hulk. They made sure their eyes were on Alkerson. So if there was a pass that was coming in, I'm very sure they would have forced another back pass or a parallel pass.
Wenjun's ball dealt with by the covering left back Mung Jae. Well, they were really patient before they put that ball in. Then it was a difficult ball to defend. Hulk complaining. Baltus gets there first. Kim In-sung. Oh, cleverly played, dragged back, yellow card. Wait, Jen. Right, that's an early yellow card. He's got best part of 80 minutes to play, walking on a tightrope.
I think it's really clever from Kim In-sung. As soon as Ulsan regained possession, just looking at options, where can he be in position to try and get the ball better, play a neat 1-2 and then get into position. Forces Wei Zhen into a situation where he draws that foul.
Baltus launches it forward. The target was Kim Suan, and referee was looking at him really early on and said the arms are up from Kim Suan, but it's clearly going to be attacked from Ulsan. Not sure what he does wrong there, Stam.
I'm not sure too. I think he went up really fair. He's got the height, he's got that little presence. I think that's exactly what Kim Do-hoon is finding, and him trying to solve the problem of them not scoring in the last two games. It's In-sung and Suan. Suan, more typical number 9, tracked centre backs, and then In-sung just running in that channels, and that's what we've seen in these early minutes.
Long ball looks out wide. Wang, Hook dropping to the edge of the penalty area. Lee Wen-jun loses out. Park Young-woo is looking for Chang Soo. He's dragged back. That's the latest foul. That one by Yu Hai. Won the first header. He's a converted winger, Yu Hai, and sometimes you can tell.
Yeah, again, I think there's 4 centre backs in that 3 centre back at the back and in 11 on the pitch. So at times when you play them out wide, you see them doing some defensive attributes, I must say.
Baltus. Again, looking for the big man, Kim Swan. Chang Soo. After Tae-hwan. Chang Soo outside of him. 2 overlapping players, 2 overlapping fullbacks. Oh, no communication there. Throw in, conceded by Fu Han. They conceded 2 in quick succession in the weekend victory over Jiangsu, did Shanghai. It's posed question marks about that revamped back 3. Cross comes over. Ho-kyung will chase it. Tricky play, but too tricky for his own good there. Jun-ling closed down by Kim Swan. Young-woo wins the header. Doesn't win the foul that he wanted off Hulku. He's a monstrously big figure up close. Huge power in the man. Oscar. Clearly been given free rein, Oscar, today. Wen-jun. Changi. Akhmedov. Hulk, lovely turn. Took it away from the American international mixed Diskarud.
Yeah, that's a little quality of a player at that level. Firstly, there's the movement of the ball to get into that position, and then he thinks about the next move before he receives the ball. Mixed Diskarud was second to that reaction. He knew exactly what he was doing, Hulk, as soon as he got in between those defenders and then first touch across, draws the fall of Mixed Diskarud.
Bit far out for a shot.
Not for Hulk.
There is the man eyeing that top corner. It is played short. It's a nice idea. Akhmedov. Well, that was really excellent defending originally, but then Oscar wins it back. Well, the measured pass was just a metre away from being perfect. Here's Hulk once again onto Oscar. And Hulk tries to drive through two players. Diskarud that time stood firm. But a good improvised free kick there. Oscar's pass nearly gets around the outside.
You mean a failed execution? I think Oscar would demand more of himself. I think it's good that you're working on set pieces, but it's got to work because Hulk can hit from those distance.
Changi. Elkerson. In Changui once again. Ranjan, too close and too easy for Oh Seung-hoon. Vitor Pereira on the bench. Still having to come to terms with the loss of Boulay, who's playing in Spain, and he added such a potency to Shanghai last year. It wasn't just about the front three, it was the front three plus Boulay. Diskarud. Park Young-woo. Two teams just shadow boxing at the moment, Stan.
Yeah, as expected from Ulsan. I'm not surprised. I think SIPG will try and press a bit higher as much as Ulsan try to play out from the back or force them to try and press them higher up the pitch as they try and use the height of Suwon up front, as you just saw. As soon as the Hulk and the Elkerson starts pressing, they try and play that little long ball.
Oscar guides it in. Good defending by Young-sun, and they can break now. Tae-hwan driving forward. Hulk doesn't put a challenge. Tae-hwan asks a little bit too much there of Kim Swan.
Well, Kim Tae-hwan, who has started as right back this season so far, mainstay, been pushed forward, rightly so. Kim Sang-soo has been asked to play in that right back position. As you can see, he looked a bit awkward. On the transition, attacking space, and then when you need to provide that little final pass, it almost as a right back putting that pass more than a right midfielder.
Kim In-sung. A little bit fancy from In-sung. He wants to get onto his left foot. It's a measured cross, but over Kim Swan. Clever play from Kim In-sung. Just a bit too much on him.
Yeah, the liveliest player so far in the park. 20 minutes gone. It's trying to get things going, working in between the lines, just ahead of that back three of Shanghai SIPG. It's got a bit of success. I thought that ball was a really good ball. I thought, yeah, when you look at Suwon's reaction, it looked like it was overcooked on that occasion, but I think that ball was really good.
Suwon once again. Very prominent in these early stages, and they lift it up looking for Suwon. Gets the header in.
Better movement from Suwon. Starts just ahead of top of the box, right in the middle, and then have a look at where the cross is going to land. Far post. I don't think he timed his jump really well. That's why he couldn't generate enough power. Well, that's a good indication. Much better from the makeshift right midfielder Kim Tae-hwan.
Long ball looks for Elkerson to chase. Right on the shoulder of Young-sun. He's happy just to recycle to Balthus. That slap from Balthus. Oscar on it in a flash. Oscar! Beaten away by Seung-hoon.
You don't want to be giving gifts away to a player of this caliber. Oscar. Thought he was very single-minded. I think he realized that Hulk was trying to give him some width on the left-hand side. Quality strike, stinging shot. First time goalkeeper has been asked and called to action.
26 minutes played, goalless, AFC Champions League. So the group stages, match day 2 of 6. Oscar, it's in a dangerous corner that's only just missed by Changi at the front post. Oh. And again, goalkeeper has to deal with that one. Whipped into the near post by Oscar. Competently dealt with. The goalkeeper, who is very dominant, comes for high balls.
I think he took a step forward as well. Try and save Oscar's shot earlier on. Seung-hoon call to action first time, crucial to try and get a bit of a grip and a good start to try and get himself a bit confident.
Jun Ling's clearance. Free kick once again, and a foul count is going up. 3 individually against Elkerson. Scowls on the faces of the Brazilian trio as they look for Suan. Not a great ball in for Suan. Elkerson, Oscar, Hulk, beaten to it by Baltus. Very quick to attack the ball. Kim Bok-young. Diskarud. Young Jae. Young Jae can't get the cross past Senchao. And Hulk wins the throw-in very cleverly against Diskarud. In terms of possessional stats, it's around about 50-50, round about even. Shanghai had a 60-40 lead. Now keeper's got to come out and make the header. A long way off his line to deny Wenjun. Good goalkeeping.
Well done, Seung-hoon. His starting positioning was crucial. I don't think he has the pace of Lu Wenjun. He did get ahead of Lu Wenjun on that occasion. Had to get it right.
Hulk. Oscar picks up the second ball. Goes to the ground and Lee Chang-soo says, "You just get up, Mr. Oscar." That one is a little pullback by Suan. And the goalkeeper, Seung-hoon, a long way out of his penalty area, good 10 meters out of his penalty area. Game still in its gestation period at the moment, Stan. There's a lot of promise, but at the moment no fireworks.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised, as I expected that from Ulsan. They're very intelligent in how they go about matches. They try and kill off the opponent. If you're Oscar, you're Alkerson especially right now, you must be wondering, what am I going to do to try and get more touches, get balls in areas where I can have a bit more excitement to start to play some football? Because at the moment, if you're Alkerson, you're finding ways.
Bok-young, Kim In-sung, they want him on the ball. Fu Hwan has done well. Done very well, Fu Hwan. Brought out of his central area. They go straight back into it. The cover is from Yu Hai. Wenjun, Yu Hai and Changi. On to your point about Elkerson and Oscar, I don't think Shanghai are going to try and change that. They're not going to get bodies forward in support of the front three. Not even Akhmedov. Well, they haven't so far in this opening half hour, and they didn't in the 90 minutes against Kawasaki either. Changi launches long, and there's a chance for Shen Chao.
And again, if that's how they're going to go about it, as we just saw in this attack, it's too predictable, it's too straightforward, well handled, easily handled, dealt with here. Myung Jae is getting ahead of Wang Sen Chao. And real slip, just earning the foul. So they're forcing Odil, they're forcing Chuang Yi, they're forcing Oscar to make parallel passes. If they're going to go forward, not allowing them to play in the pocket still, allowing them to play more direct football, which is something a SIPG wouldn't want to do.
Akhmedov launched it high, easy for Young Sun. Didn't deal with it particularly well. Second chance, Diskarud. Flick back, Bokyung. Diskarud. Expansive pass. Taehui. Sorry, Taehui plays for Gwangyang, doesn't he? It's Taehuan is the overlapping midfielder now. Chang-Soo. Myung Jae. Baltus. Thought he was going to try and take on Elkerson then. That's dangerous. Ball into space. Looking for Kim Bo-kyung. Myung Jae. Opta have a pass matrix where they tell you exactly how many passes players are giving, and it's all the defenders who are absolutely dominating that pass matrix.
What a surprise. Again, I'm looking at Kim Bok-kyung. I like how Kim In-sung has started. He's trying to understand what's his role behind Suwon. I think Bok-kyung probably needs to do more of what In-sung is doing. Then you'll give two problems to Shanghai SIPG. If Bok-kyung can get more into the game, as what we've seen from Kim In-sung, every time he makes that run around with Suwon attracting the defenders, we've seen a bit of joy in Ulsan's attack.
Odil Akhmedov, 31-year-old Uzbek. As the ages are gone, Akhmedov's become a little less dynamic year on year. Now the holding midfielder who occasionally gets forward rather than the rampaging runs he used to make in days of yore. First came to prominence as we saw the Paktakor team from Uzbekistan progress to the latter stages. Changi. Here is Odil Akhmedov. Yuhai just bursting to get forward. Wenjun, Oscar, Akhmedov. Patient passing, Hulk. Senchal made a run inside. Hulk comes back again, uses Akhmedov. A bit of training work from the Chinese side until Hulk tries the expansive pass. Park has to go back to his goalkeeper. Good solid thwack of the football. Suwan doesn't get a clean header, but possession goes to Ulsan.
Yeah, look at that prior few exchange of passes from SIPG. Just looking at Park Young-woo and Mix Diskarud at their movement. They're very organized. They make sure that they're communicating between each other. They're communicating with the players in front of them. But it must be said, SIPG is also playing at a pace which is very comfortable for a setup like Ulsan Hyundai. And you can see that midfield is very much in shape, even though it's going left to right, but at a very comfortable pace, and Ulsan's got no problem with that.
comes off Kim Bok-young. Can't hold off Tae Hwan. Stanley Bernard Samuel not impressed there with Hulk. You're saying there's not a lot of contact, I suspect.
Have a look. Clever from Hulk. He knew exactly when Tae Hwan left his foot hanging, he was going to go down, whether it was a touch or not. The referee was in the correct position. Very hard for the referee, I must say. But Hulk knows there wasn't a touch.
Second chance for Hulk. Last time it was Oscar who tried to play the cute pass through. I suspect second time Hulk, although it is a long way out, Stan. I know you're going to say Hulk can hit it, but it's got to be special, because Seung Hoon's a very, very competent goalkeeper.
If there's one thing this game needs, it's something special.
Look at Sen Chao just a little bit to the right. Hulk drives it through, and competence wins over ambition.
I'm a bit surprised that he actually took only 2 steps from that distance. I know he can hit, he can generate such power. Sometimes just overconfidence from that occasion can be your biggest downfall.
Suan won the first header, but Shanghai have done well to mop up around him. They've got bodies around him. He might win the first header, but thereafter it's a problem. Tae Hwan just crowded out by red shirts, and Oscar can pick up the pieces. Looks for support. It's slow in arriving. Eventually Akhmedov offers the option down the right. Oscar with a late challenge there on Chang-Soo, who's done the Brazilian a big favour by not staying down. That's good honest play from Chang-Soo.
A bit of frustration as well from Oscar. Again on transition, I was just having a look at SIPG. As soon as they play the ball wide, and you've got 5 Ulsan players, no problem.
Flag stays down, sorry, In-sung. Suham, of course, in the penalty area. And might get across this time. Tae Hwan, good defending from Wenjung, the left wing back.
Well, that's exactly what will be required of him. Tracking back. It's not easy work when you play with a 3 back. He made sure Tae Hwan's cross did not go that near post, because Suan actually made a move towards that area.
First corner for Ulsan. Suan, of course, is there. Young Sons up there. Baltus will be in the mix as well. And easy for another competent goalkeeper, Yan Jun-ling. We've got 2 good goalkeepers on show today. Not that we've needed to see them on show, but both very accomplished. There's a problem there for Lin Chang-yi. He's gone down in the middle of the pitch. An ankle problem for him. Referee Ahmed Yaqub happy to stop the play, and Yan Jun-ling immediately there, and there's a bit of concern for Chang-yi. You don't go down like that without good reason, Stan.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the bench. They don't have Chai Hui Kam, which is a like for like. He's holding his ankle just above his ankle.
Vitor Pereira, the man in charge of Shanghai, took over some big shoes from Andre Villas-Boas. I think he'll be okay, but that's the man we've been talking about mostly in the first half. It's the long ball up to Kim Suan, rather than a more measured pass into the power of Junior Negrao. Mixing it up.
Yeah, I think, again, you just go back last 2 games, Kim Do-hoon must have been very pleased to have 2 clean sheets. That shows very solid defense, tactically sound, But when you're not scoring goals, you've got to find some solution, and that's why he's trying a new bit of mix up front. I still think Kim In-sung's inclusion has had a bit of spark to how Ulsan have gone about in his first 40 minutes. I just think Kim Bok-young has more responsibilities now to try and get a little bit.
Hulk and Suwan. Suwan's just pressing. Hulk has reacted. I'm not sure what Suwan has done wrong here, Stan.
Well, I think what Ulsan's done really well is they frustrated Oscar. Had a bit of a late on Chang-soo, and now Hulk is not happy because he's being pressed.
There's no foul, there's just real pressure.
Yeah.
And he's trying to hold his ground.
I saw him swinging his arm twice. Have a look right here. No problem, it's not more pressure here. There you go, once. There you go, twice. And I think he might get a warning, not even a yellow card, but he had intent. He's trying to get on the face of Suwan. Well done, Suwan. Good pressure.
It's great pressure. Can't treat superstars like that. Well done, Suwan. Odil Akhmedov. Oscar onto Hulk. This time the man providing the pressure is Young-woo. That one is a foul because Hulk turned him beautifully.
Yeah, I think one of the textbook defending that you must not do against Hulk is let him feel your weight. Because as soon as he starts to lean on you, then you don't have the vision of the ball, and then he has upper strength, which he can just turn you and roll you, and then all you left is let him go, or you've got to bring him down.
Oscar. 6 to aim for. Oh, it's an important touch. I'm not sure whether it's Young-hoon who got there or whether the defender got there in front of him. Elkerson was diving for this.
I think the quality of the delivery, right on top of that 6-yard box. And
great header, Young-woo. Brilliant header.
I'm just looking at Seung-hoon. He's completely missed it because I think Young-woo took it off him. You just got to make sure. Goalkeeper leaving his goal.
Flicked on by Yu-hai. And a push there by Elkerson. So long as it's your own defender who gets in front of you, it's okay. If it's an attacker, you've got a problem. And it was a brilliant ball in. Superbly defended. I mean, there's not been an awful lot of goal-mouth action, but the defending has been top drawer. How Shanghai have dealt with Kim Suwan and his height.
I think it's more impressive how Ulsan have kept you away from saying the name Elkerson in the first 45 minutes. Can't remember when's the last you mentioned his name, and that's exactly what we expect from Ulsan. And now we've got to improve going forward.
Referee's played an advantage. There is Elkerson. Right on cue, Odil Akhmedov. Oscar. Waif-like, peripheral figure at the moment. They're capable of moments of magic. Here is Oscar. Changi. Just caught by another enthusiastic challenge by Kim Suwan. Chen Chao. Hulk. Faced by Suwan once again. Hulk goes past Suwan. Comes back for another bite of the cherry. Akhmedov. Oh. Balfour's in beautifully, then Diskarud fancy. Kim In-sung caught by a late challenge from Changi. Some lovely improvised play by Ulsan.
Yeah, great piece of anticipation from Davy Beltois. He had to read that pass as soon as that pass was executed. Got in between some of the attacking that was trying to be thrown by Shanghai SIPG. It's been a defensive affair in this first half.
Half-time whistle goes. Elkerson being peripheral. Hulk frustrated. Ulsan have tried to go through Kim Suan as their main way of trying to break the deadlock, but it's 2.5 games without a goal now for Ulsan. We're goalless at half-time. Ulsan Hyundai 0, Shanghai SIPG. Second half belatedly underway. Tell you what, this countdown is proving very difficult for clubs to work out. Goalless at half-time. Ulsan in the blue. They drew at Sydney on match day 1. Shanghai beat Kawasaki Frontale by a goal to 0. Somehow, still not quite sure how. Those two teams are in action at the moment in Japan, and it's 0-0 between Kawasaki and Sydney. So it's a very, very tight group, this one. I said before the kickoff, win your home games is a must. Changi spreads it wide. Shanghai in the all-red. Changi. Odil Akhmedov. Onto Hulk. They've got 3 huge earning superstars in Elkison, Hulk and Oscar. And Odil Akhmedov is a highly regarded player. But going forward, they don't seem to get a huge amount of numbers in support of those front 3, Stan.
Yeah, I think what Ulsan has done is also isolated Elkison and Hulk a little bit, not allowing Oscar or Odil Akhmedov to try and play or give any kind of service, and credit has to be given to Park Yong-woo and Mix Diskarut. I just think the way they've organized, the way they've communicated with people behind them and the players in front of them have been the highlight of that first 45 minutes.
Bokyung doing the pressing. Let me give you the lineups as the players just continue where they left off in the first half. For Shanghai SIPG, it's a 3-4-2-1 formation in many ways. You've got Jun Ling in goal. I'll break off just a moment because Taekwon is trying to race down this right-hand side. Helped in by Park. There's a collision on the edge of the penalty area. Kim In-sung hits the floor as well. You get the diving header in, but it's out for a goal kick. Ahmad Yaqub unimpressed by either of the contacts.
Yeah, but I don't think he was very confident. I don't think he's seen it. I don't think... here you go. Referee's clearly not seen the situation, hence why he's not given in. I think that's a good decision. But he wasn't too convinced when he was like, what's going on there?
It was kind of just a blocking off of Kim Suan, who's been the talking point. It's been one of those games, there's interest without excitement. Changi. Elkison. Lovely little pirouette and blocked off by Park Young-woo. I was in the midst of giving you the team lineups. I'll break off again because Young-woo reminds Taekwon. Okay, let's start again. Jun Ling in goal. Wei Jen, who's picked up a yellow card. Fu Han and Yu Hai across the back. Shen Chao, Chuang Yi, Akhmedov and Wen Jun in midfield. Oscar and Hulk in support of Elkison. Vito Pereira. You can see push out, but other than the front 3, nobody really is looking to push out for Shanghai SIPG. Wen Jun. Oscar. Wen Jun. Now he gets forward. Comes back into traffic and is seen off by Park, who's done a good job defensively. Lee Chang-soo into Park again. Ooh, Chang-soo under pressure. Finds his goalkeeper, Xiang-hoon. Chuang Yi. Chuang Yi's effort. They will go out for a... Oh, it's just gone out for a goal kick.
Yeah, just anticipation on that loose pass. Very single-minded. Not a player that you often see on the score sheet. Chong Yi.
As for the home side, Ulsan, Chung Hoon in goal, who's been pretty impressive in the bits and pieces he's had to do. Here he is on the ball again. Chang Soo and Mei Jung, Myung Jae are the overlapping fullbacks. Baltas and Young San in central defence. Young Woo is the holding midfielder with Diskarud alongside him. Kim Soo-an, the main front man, with Tae Hwan and Bo Kyung and In Sung in support. There is Mix Diskarud. Norwegian background, American international. To the very Korean Young Woo, who gave the ball away. Oscar. The Dutchman Baltus. It's a multicultural game of football. Kim Bo-kyung, who's spent time playing in Europe. Tae Hwan forces the corner off Yu Hai.
Yeah, I like what Tae Hwan's been providing down his right-hand side. It's simple, it's very straightforward. He's a makeshift right midfielder, 2 times K-League winner. He's going to give a lot of trouble because he keeps providing that option. If balls are played in early and nice, he will be there. And that's what Tae Hwan's been asked to do.
Oscar defending at the near post, only finds Mix Diskarud. Helped in by Bo Kyung. Relatively easy for Junling. Surrounded by blue shirts every time he gets the ball, Hulk. Understandably. Now then, let's see if Yu Hai can get forward. Oscar. Again, surrounded by blue shirts. Gets the cross in. Has to be dealt with at the far post by Myung Jae. Akhmedov. Hulk. Shifts it onto his left. Diskarud, referee thinks of a free kick, decides against it. Soo-an. Bo Kyung just couldn't get the pass away. Diskarud. Had to be careful with that pass, he's measured it back to his goalkeeper.
They're running out of ideas at this point. Shanghai SIPG. That's how well Ulsan have forced them into areas. Alkerson dropping left, dropping right. It's not going to do any good from where he is at the moment. He's trying to be the provider. As you saw Wang Sen-chao making that run across from the right-hand side. Oscar's trying to find Hulk. Hulk's not making any movement. Well done, Ulsan. I think tactically they've been really sound.
Oh, they nearly created a chance for Kim In-sung. Good defending from Wei Jen to close him down very quickly.
And on transition here, Tae Hwan again providing that little option. The ball wasn't intended for Un-sung, but somehow finds its way. And then a little bounce doesn't help. Still expect a little bit better from In-sung. Not surprised. It's about that mark when you introduce the man who we thought that would be starting. But he certainly can change this very tight game.
Junior Negrão, the Brazilian, is the man in question. In the meantime, the flag stays down. Junling has done well with 2 tackles. Any fullback would be proud of that, but he's off his line. Chance to chip, not taken. Kim In-sung, Kim Bo-kyung. And Park, that may well turn into a pass. It is indeed to Tae Hwan. Tae Hwan. And some excellent goalkeeping, competence personified from Yang Junling.
That's a chance gone begging. That had a couple of times where they could have tried to put it on target. Yang Junling does absolutely well here, wins 2 big battles. Made sure his focus was right. Got a massive touch on the second one as well. And I thought I was a bit disappointed with Kim Bok-young, who could have tried and put that on target on 2 occasions. Puck and wanted to take responsibility, scuffed the shot.
Well, there is the change that we didn't expect. It is Kim Soo-hang, who's been a big, strong, painful thorn in the side of Shanghai SIPG, but not a thorn that produced a goal. Junior Negrao is much more of a marksman. And immediately you can see he does not like being left off, does he? Left out of the first team as Odil Akhmedov gets treatment. A significant change to the lineup for Ulsan Hyundai. Can clear. Diskerud loses out, gets landed on by Hulk. Danger, Elkerson to Oscar, to Hulk. It's good defending by Mix Diskerud. The game against Perak that we saw him here, he just wandered in and out of the game. Here he's very, very central. Tae-hwan, lovely running across the line by Kim Bok-young. Bok-young cuts inside. Still Bok-young. Yuhai's defending was excellent, and Oscar buys the foul from Lee Chang-soo. But that was terrific front running from Kim Bok-young.
Yeah, as I demanded of him in the first half, I think we saw In-sung doing really well, just working around those lines. And now you got Bok-young, who's increased his contribution towards the game, trying to get into areas where he can provide a little bit width, a little bit more depth. And that's what happened on that occasion. He provided a bit more depth. I think the final delivery, after doing a lot, he's just trying to be a bit cheeky, trying to put in between the legs of the defender. But they've been a bit more expensive, Ulsan. I like what I'm seeing in this second half. I think they've found a bit of a way to try and go forward.
There is Oscar with the red flags. Big wave behind him. The away fans not here in big numbers, but making themselves heard. Hulk. Kim Bok-young responding to your call. He is a good player, as is Mix Diskerud. Myung-jing. Kim In-sung onto Kim Bok-young. In-sung. Negrao, Junior Negrao! An almost instant impact.
Well, almost like they brought on someone they understand. Junior Negrao just coming ahead of Fu-hwan. Takes his first touch. Did not have another step, but that's a good start. As a striker, you want to try and get that shot on target, get involved immediately. And now you're seeing Bok-young and In-sung creating just behind Junior Negrao. Bok-young was largely missing in the first 45 minutes. He's done much more in the second half than he's done the entire first 45 minutes. It's only good news for Kim Do-hoon.
Liu Wen-jun, Oscar, just hugging this left touchline. Elkerson, Hulk, Oscar eased off by Lee Chang-soo. Good defending by the experienced fullback.
Again, it makes the back four's job much easier when your defensive midfielders forces those players just ahead of that back four into one pass, one direction, It's exactly what Park Young-woo and Mixed Discruit has done throughout his entire match so far. Every time Hulk, Oscar get into that position, they're forced into one option, one direction. That helps a right fullback, that helps a left fullback, because he knows exactly where that pass is going to go, because his defensive midfielder has blocked off all other options.
When these two teams met in the 2018 Asian Champions League, here in Ulsan, Shanghai won by a goal to nil. Helkerson scoring in the second half as Oscar goes past Taehwan. The Taehwan tenacious, as is Oscar, but the throw-in will go to the home side. The first game in Shanghai between the sides yesterday, last year, finished 2 apiece. Oscar scoring twice on that occasion. So tight games were the order of the day last year, tight game this year. In-sung. Myung-jae. In-sung got in the way of a ball, I think, that was aiming for Negrao. And a thumbs up from Junior Negrao. It's not lofted balls hitting and hoping, it's now penetrative passes looking for the feet of Junior Negrao.
Yeah, you immediately change your way of play to the strength of the player that's been brought on. Clearly, Ulsan have played with Junior Negrao for a while now, and they understand that what Negrao's strengths are. I just think if Pok-young and In-sung can work around him better, stretch that defense a little bit more, you'll find midfielders like Park Young-woo, Mixed Discruit, finding those passes, finding those areas.
Junior Negrao! Denied by a combination of Fu Han and Yan Junling.
A little piece of magic here from Junior Negrao. Had no right to go past Fu Han on that occasion. And then a bit of luck at the end, but I don't think he got enough on the ball at the very end. And Yan Junling again, his presence there, making sure if there was a touch from Negrao, he would be matching it, and that's exactly what he did. Softened the ball and then got it on the second attempt.
Good save. Oscar is kicked for a yellow card by Taehwan. That could not be any clearer. Any language. Korean, Arabic, Mandarin, English, take your pick. And fully deserved. Second yellow card of the match. Hui Jen, the other for Shanghai in the early stages. But it gives Hulk a chance to shape this. Just a bit too far out, dealt with by Baltas. Akhmedov, Oscar. Goalkeeper's done well. Negrao. Oh, it's bounced luckily for Junior Negrao. It could have gone anywhere. Discarud's header. Dealt with by Sen Chao. Hulk. Once again, Hulk. Chang-soo had to stretch every sinew. And again, he smuggled it out to Kim Bo-kyung. And then Taehwan, dispossessed by Odil Akhmedov. Diving in is Discarud. It's a better game this second half. Kim Bo-kyung looks for Negrao. Fu Han again, a last-ditch clearance. Young-woo mops up in the centre of midfield.
Odil Akhmedov been really poor in this match. I just think he's one of those players who's got a lot of bit to contribute.
Chang-soo, when Jones tracked him well. Taehwan, Chang-Soo, 3 in the penalty area. Taehwan was offside, good decision not to pass, but forced all the way backwards. The other game in this group, Kawasaki Frontale 0, Sydney FC 0. 0-0 here, 0-0 last week between Ulsan and Sydney. Just the 1 goal in the Shanghai game, that was a last-minute penalty, as Wen-jun doesn't connect well. Kim Bo-kyung, wonderfully played, terrific skills.
Well, again, this is the man, and this is the reason why they brought him from Kashiwa Arezzo. First half, again, I would say it was largely missing. Player with a lot of quality, and coming back to Odi Lakmadov, I think he's a really good player. I like him, but I think he's been below average tonight. Shanghai SIPG, he's got a lot of work to do here. Ulsan Hyundai is on top.
A striker's goal, and Ulsan's lead.
That's just quality from a very, very angry man. It doesn't like being on the bench, especially at home games. You ask any striker, any foreign player playing in a foreign league, you want to play your home games, and that's the response to this man, Kim Do-hoon. Fantastic header, because he made that run towards the near post and he knew exactly what he was going to do, and the delivery was good. Near post didn't need to move much, but what he had to do is make sure that he got that across goal, so there was no chance for Yan Yu Ling. Hand blue look right here, near post man beaten Alkerson, but that Junior Negrao, fantastic.
Second goal in the AFC Champions League this season. Now Shanghai have got to maybe pull players forward, which they haven't done so far. Here is Odil Akhmedov. Can't overestimate the loss of Wu Lei for the away side. In a good way, the players going out of Asia into Europe is perceived to be good. It's not that good for Shanghai. Kim Bo-kyung. Discarud. Snapshot from the American international.
And one of the rare times Mix Discarud have found himself in this position. This reminds me of the 2 beautiful goals that he scored against Perak. Hardly mentioned. When you did mention him, you had to mention him a couple of times when he scored goals. It's been a very, very solid performance from Ulsan. All around the park, tactically very sound, not giving much away. Defensively, they've been good. Going forward in the second half, they upped the tempo and they've buried a goal.
Discarud. I mentioned 3 times against Perak because he was substituted as well. Insu drives, Insu forces another save that isn't really dealt with well by Junling.
Nice piece of work here from Kim In-sung. He wanted that space on right, made that space. Bit of bounce, wobbly ball towards Yan Yun Ling. He wasn't sure.
Chang Yi. Discarud again, looks a player today. Jiangsu onto Taehwan. Taehwan still going. It was a nice ball. Negrao not on the same wavelength. Not sure you can blame the striker for that, but he is.
Well, he's growing into that position, having started as right back throughout this season.
Have you seen a reaction from Shanghai to the concession of the goal?
I think they've been not allowed to. Again, it's very sound. Maybe I've said it far too many times, but I've been very impressed how well structured this Ulsan Hyundai side is. They don't give you time and space on the ball, and players do really well. So you need some specials from your big names, your Oscars, your Elkersons, and most notably from Hauk.
Here's Akhmedov. Shen Chao overlapping. He's been at Shanghai for a long time. Oh, it's Elkerson! Well, Elkerson's dived in on the goalkeeper. That's brave from both players. Referee has given the foul. Elkerson's got every right to go for it. But terrific goalkeeping, I've got to say. Because Seung-hoon knows he's getting a hammering here.
Yeah, Wang Shen-chao just putting in that delivery. And Seung-hoon always first to that ball. Positioning was right. No theatrics, well done. That's the level we're looking at in the Champions League. Alkerson, as you mentioned, has had every right as a striker, but Seung-hoon made sure he was first to the ball. What an introduction. There you go.
Come on, score a goal for us. Okay, boss. Third season in the Korean League, and he's scored goals wherever he's gone, Junior Negrao. And now on the biggest Asian stage possible. Here is Oscar. Delicious ball. Oh, Elkerson was well defended. I think it was Young Sun who just did enough to hold off Elkerson. That's great defending. Changi. Akhmedov strides forward. Oscar to the left again. 3 in the penalty area. Oscar! Akhmedov. Diskarud is first. And just a bit of contact from Hulk, who would have done exactly the same in his position.
For me, Mix Diskarud has been one of the best players on the park tonight, alongside Park Young-woo. They've been leaders in how Ulsan plays and set up.
Double change, though, is being introduced by the visitors, Jang Gi and Lee Shenglong. And Lee Shenglong will come on. Yuan Jung replaced. And in the heart of midfield, it's going to be a replacement also for Changi, who's worked hard. He's tried to retain possession, not been a vast amount of creativity. Changi, a very different kettle of fish. He's predominantly a striker.
Well, I think what's more worrying here for Vitor Pereira is second game gone in the Champions League. Lee Win-jun has had a below average performance. Expectations is high. I know it's crazy pressure to fill in the boots of Wu-lei, but personally, Lee Win-jun himself, as his own expectation, I don't think he's played to a level where he can say he's done his best or given his best. So at the moment, that's a problem that Vitor Pereira will need to worry about.
Oscar. If there's a heat map of Oscar in this match, it'll be predominantly down the left-hand side. Fu Huan. Changes may well have produced a change of formation as well for Shanghai Stan. I'll get your thoughts on that in a moment. Oscar. It's too much for Shen Chao. Chang-soo's long throw. Negrao can't get the header. Oscar can. Shanghai Shanghai certainly come back into it. Jiang Yi taking over the role in the central midfield, but will try to be a lot more proactive. Hulk away from two challengers. Park doesn't dive in, importantly. Akhmedov. Oscar. Parried away, but there must have been a lot of movement there on that shot from Oscar. Xiang-Hoon.
Well, this is where the big name players are taking responsibility. Again, Oscar, who did that in that first game. He worked tremendously hard off the ball. Now he's just trying to turn things around here for Shanghai SIPG. Shot from distance, lots of focus generated behind that shot to try and trouble Xiang-Hoon. Succeeded. I think there was a spin because Xiang-Hoon, to the very last minute, wasn't sure about the flight of that ball.
There's a little incident with Taehwan off the ball. Corner comes in. Again, scooped away. Akhmedov. And if it goes in, it's the goal of the century, both last, this and next.
Well, Southeast Asian players do get a lot of stick for doing that. This is Odil Akhmedov, one of the most consistent players in the Chinese league. Again, one of those players, I like what he brings to this team, but tonight he's been poor.
Into the final 15 minutes, it's a goal to the good for Ulsan Hyundai. We're at the Ulsan Munsu Football Stadium. Shanghai SIPG, big spenders. Top team in the Chinese Super League. Elkerson offside. I think I've been alluding since almost the first couple of minutes though, but if you just rely on your foreign talent going forward, they'll just get outnumbered. You need to be far more of a team than that, and Shanghai seem to just be relying on their foreign talent.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to the goal, Kim Bok-Young, how he provided the cross. I think we didn't mention enough that he beat the first man, Elkerson. The measured cross is so crucial because you look at what Junior Negrao had to do. He had to put the ball on target. The pace of the ball and the measure of the cross.
Here is Kim Bok-Young, another chance for the corner. Another chance for Junior. Oh, the inadvertent cutting of the close-up of him there. A taciturn expression. Nearly reached Park. And then Diskarut gets in the way. Does beautifully. Young Son. Myung Jae. Hulk under pressure. Gets the foul. Jiangsu realised he was going to get told off. It's a fast break though by Shanghai. Oscar. Remember how late they left it in the last game? Taehwan dispossesses, but Jiang Yi's run it back and then lost it. And Negrao, lovely ball for Kim In-soon. But good goalkeeping once again by Junling. Both goalkeepers have played outside their penalty area today.
Yeah, with Negrao's inclusion, he offers a different kind of striker to Suwan, who went off. Negrao dropping a bit deep. Anytime Suwan or Kim Bok-Young could make those runs forward, and Negrao can see a pass.
Hulk went to ground very easily, and applause from Stanley Bernard Samuel alongside me in the commentary box for the referee for not falling for what he reckons is a clear dive. Instead, Kim Bok-Young spreads it out wide to Taehwan. Negrao wants it to his feet. He gets it to his feet. That wasn't an option before he came on. Oscar works hard. Akhmedov under pressure from Taehwan. He needs to be careful. He's on a yellow card, Taehwan. Can't tug his man back. Elkerson, faced by Young Sun. And Elkerson will win nothing. Strong defending from Young Son. Hulk, lovely ball back. Fu Han, who's dropped to that right back position that he's more comfortable in. Zhang Yi. Wei Jian. Oscar. Hulk. It's come all the way to Zheng Zhao. Elkerson. Hulk. Power, but a long, long way away.
Well, one of the best attacks in the second half from Shanghai SIPG. Oscar just spreading it right. And then another cross towards the left from Hulk, who ends up with the final shot. I thought he opted for power a lot more than accuracy. Saw excitement in him before he unleashed that shot. That's where perhaps the focus was a bit missing.
Late goal for Kawasaki Frontale against Sydney. Manobu Saito has scored on a free kick here, conceded by Park Young-woo. Shenlong has come in on that left side, been a little bit more further forward. It does give the options for Shanghai to get the ball forward into different areas. It's not only Oscar or Elkerson's feet. Wang Zhenqiao late into the penalty area. The little knot of Shanghai fans looking for a late equaliser. 6 red shirts in the penalty area, defended by 8. Oscar's ball doesn't beat the near post. Taehwan's header. Bok Young. Not the best pass from Bok Young. And the crowd just catches the heels of Oscar.
Yeah, I could see Kim In-sung just a bit frustrated with that pass from Bok Young because he was a bit behind him. And then concedes another foul. Again, if there's one thing on
Oscar's taking it quickly. It breaks to Elkerson. What a block from Davy Baltus. Referees said play on, no foul against Oscar. Big chance for Elkerson. Zhang Yi, Baltus again. Akhmedov looks for Hulk, but too much on that for the Brazilian.
Well, it was that moment Shanghai SIPG again was alluding to in the last game against Kawasaki. They had no right to win that 3 points.
Kim In-sung crudely brought down. Fu Han, I think, has escaped with a yellow card there.
Not sure how, but he has. And they had no right to win that 3 points against Kawasaki. But they did get a goal in the very last minute, something that Ulsan's got to worry about. Been the better side, deservingly up by 1.
Balthus. And the crowd gets a header. Zhenqiao can let it run out of play. 6 minutes to play here in Ulsan. And here's the chance that falls for...
Yeah, I thought again, Davy Baltus, look at what he does. He keeps his eyes on the ball. As soon as the shot is unleashed, put his entire body to block that little shot coming through.
Zhenqiao was looking for Shenlong. There is still the perception that Chinese teams are super reliant on their foreign players. In Shanghai, not sure they're suffering the consequences, but when they come against a team, they find it difficult. There is Oscar, one of the superstars. Muscles his way in. Fu Han. More red shirts forward though. Hulk. Diskerud. Clever, but only finds Oscar. Then Baltus. Yu Hao. Revisiting his days as a winger. Oscar. Now Jangi. Elkerson. Hulk. Hulk. Elkerson. Diskerud closes. But they're getting closer. Do not rule out a Shanghai equaliser. Akhmedov. Hulk. Nice little bit of play, but all to naught.
Well, now that's what you call reaction. Players taking more responsibility. The man that's leading the way is Oscar. For me, he's been outstanding in how, again, Shanghai not playing well tonight. But Oscar, when you need him to work hard, he works really hard. And at the moment on the ball, he's doing everything possible to get his team going.
Oscar! Wonderful save. Low to his left. Sung-Kyun has pulled off a worldie.
Well, beautifully done here by Oscar. Sets it up. Single-minded. Keeps it really low. Sung-Kyun sees it late. But then stretches it. Makes sure it goes out of play as well.
And then the attacker of the loose ball from Yu Hai. Well, we've seen more in this last 10 minutes from Shanghai since going behind than we did in the previous 75 stamp.
Well, sometimes you got to dig deep. You need some characters. This man is leading the way. Hulk is trying his best. Elkerson is a far cry from what we expect him to be. He doesn't look sharp. He looks a bit heavy. Again, when it comes to commitment, it's a very tough one to speak about at times. I think he's worked enough to try and get into the game, but he's just far from a player that we know.
Harsh. Fuhan, Hulk. Hulk operating wide right, Oscar wide left. Just trying to stretch Ulsan in these last, 2.5 minutes. There have been a few substitutions, trainers haven't been on. Chen Chao. Difficult ball to control, but Oscar demands the ball. And the super oppressive Park Young-woo. Oscar deserves nothing but credit for his work rate getting back. And then sweeps it out to Hulk once again. Fuhan was available, eventually gets it. Hulk drives, looks for Fuhan. Hurried clearance from Baltus. Even Davy Baltus being a little bit under stress. And then stooping to head clear. Second clearance from Young Jae. Tense moments for Ulsan. Preparing to make a change, but they've got to just resist the Shanghai fight back. Diskerud, helped by Chang Su, only on to Oscar. Chen Chao, that's easy peasy for Young Son. Referee plays on. Jang Yi. Fuhan. And the foot was high from Elkerson.
Nice little face. Attack after attack from Shanghai side. PG just trying to orchestrate something from the right-hand side, which they've not done throughout the first 75 minutes. What they've done, if they've tried to go a bit more narrow, play a bit more closer to Elkerson, get Hulk on the ball. The Oscar has been spreading the ball mostly to the right-hand side. But this man here, Elkerson, has found himself in a bit of trouble in getting into position where he can be a bit more comfortable.
Big round of applause for Mix Discarud. They've taken him to their hearts, the young American.
Well, I think he wins my man of the match. I think he's been outstanding. His first to the second balls, how he organized that midfield, not giving away much. In the last 10 minutes, they've struggled a little bit. They've allowed SIPG, credit to SIPG as well, just upping the tempo a little bit. Oscar in the heart of that, how SIPG have come up with a few chances from the right.
Elkerson. So good work ethic there. Youngson had to work hard to keep it alive. Akhmedov's touch. Difficult one. It was flung at him, but 3 minutes to play, of which 1 has been played. He looks a little bit nervy, does the coach. Shin on a substitute, central midfielder. Just more defensive-minded than Discarud. Negrão, chance to break away, and he's got support. Junior Negrão goes for goal! And misses.
Well done. Thought he felt he had the better Fu Huan. And Yu Hai was the one who had a loose touch. Single-minded. Aiming for that near top corner, going for a lot of power. That's the only way you perhaps can beat a goalkeeper from that area. One shot of confidence.
Akhmedov finds Fu Huan. Final minute. Hull closes out, but Changi can get there. He's just helped keep the momentum going. Oscar. Changi in support. Yu Hai. Well, the header was won there by Shenlong, but it's an easy leave for goalkeeper Seung Hoon, who's been outstanding as well. You mentioned Discarud, but Seung Hoon, the save from Oscar, the bravery to deny Elkerson, and several other big moments.
You love your goalkeepers, Desco.
Love your goalkeepers. But he's been excellent. Top draw. Last chance for Shanghai to get the ball forward. Their last 15 minutes have been full of vim and vigour. But the Ulsan fans are beginning to think that this is their day. Oscar launches it high, everybody forward. It's won by Shenlong. And again from Shenlong. Akhmedov. Back heel to Hulk. Runs into a couple of players. Changi closed down. It's the last action. Junior Negrão with the block tackle. Junior Negrão with the only goal of the game on as a second-half substitute. Hard-earned for Ulsan, but in the end, thoroughly deserved. Stanibadad Samuel.
Absolutely well-rounded performance, at least for 80 minutes. Tactically sound. Shanghai SIPG played for 10 minutes, deservingly lose.
Ulsan Hyundai pick up their first victory in the group. They've beaten Shanghai SIPG by 1-0. Junior Negrão with the winner in the second half.